What's happening, crew? So what we can learn from the FM21 feature reveal this past Monday was that positional roles are going to remain the same. So from the snapshots we saw in the blog, pictured here, you've still got your positions like your inverted wingers, your inside forwards, even your registars remain, your wing backs, and Mezzalas. Now, that's good news because we've just got our head around some of them roles, and they are the main roles in the modern day game. So it's time to start a new series of Know Your Role. And today we're going to kick off with one of the most underutilised roles in the game. Underutilised, maybe that's the wrong word actually. Maybe the most misunderstood role in the game, and it is the Mezzala. Right, cool. So the Mezzala, what is it? It's a role for one of your sentinel midfield players. Okay, the game describes it as such: a midfield that likes to drift wide, so into the pockets, in the half spaces. Mezzala is essentially a central half winger, so just inside the wing, but a little bit further up. Well, he does generally less defensive work, so he's going to be one of your more creative players. Support duty will mean the Mezzala will seek to balance, so a bit more defensive responsibility. If you stick him on attack, he's going to concentrate more in the attacking third. How can you use that Mezzala role in the game, in your formations? Well, let's have a look. The best way to describe the Mezzala role for me is to show you examples of modern day players playing that role right now. So here we have David Silva, we have Iniesta, and we have De Bruyne. A couple of them players you may feel are playmakers. Yes, they are, but they're also Mezzalas. They pop into the pockets of their team, so they drift wide, they start central, and out wide they go, and they have somewhat of a free reign to influence the game further up the pitch. Those three, watch them in games, out they go when they start from central positions, Mezzalas. Now for me, there's two ways to use the Mezzala. You use it with a bit of extra protection in the midfield, and you try and avoid using it in a midfield 2. It can work in a midfield 2 in game, but for me, for better security, it's best to avoid it. A modern day team that's used it recently was the amazing Barcelona team that we have here. Now we have Busquets there holding, which will allow Iniesta and Rakitic to play as Mezzalas. Now what they do is they link with Neymar and Messi, allowing Neymar and Messi to cut in, creating a free striker overload, whereas Iniesta and Rakitic will link up with Jordi Alba and Dani Alves in them wider positions, all the while with Busquets holding the fort in the middle. That's when it works ideally in a 4-3-3 formation. Alright, there's all sorts of different takes on a 4-3-3 you can use in game. Now, I like to use just the one Mezzala because it leaves you a bit less exposed. So if you've got a really good Mezzala, you can get him in there. Now what I like to do is, we like to link him up with an inverted winger and a wing back. So the whole left hand side is going to intertwine together. A bit like Barcelona did with Neymar, Alba and Iniesta. Now on the other side, if you're not using another Mezzala, you can have an out-and-out winger, combining with your full-back, maybe have a deep line playmaker there just picking the balls around. One of the options available to you. The other option is obviously having double Mezzala. When you're going a bit more attacking, Mezzala, holding midfielder, cause havoc. Obviously a Mezzala doesn't have to fit into a 4-3-3, you can use it in all sorts of positions and scenarios. So, example, wing backs. If you're using wing backs with three at the back, you can use a couple of Mezzalas to back up your wing backs out wide. Or in this instance here, we've got a take on a 4-4-2. It's very narrow, so additional width is going to be supplied by the Mezzalas to back up the full backs. Another little point, if you look at my full back there on the left, he's got an attacking mindset, so he's bombing on a bit. The Mezzala in front of him is set to support, so we're not overexposed on the left. On the other side, however, it's the other way around, so the fullback is supporting the Mezzala, and the Mezzala is set to attack. He's going to be the more advanced one on that side of the pitch. So that sort of formation with a dual Mezzala, with a bit more security, with a DLP and a halfback, another great way to use a Mezzala. Those two formations I've featured so far are my personal favourite ways to use a Mezzala, but there is other ways. Right, crew, there's a few scenarios that I would avoid using Mezzalas, and one of them would be a formation such as this. This may be an extreme example, but it'll give you a guide into what I'm saying. So you've got a 4-4-2 there, one of the great formations, but if you've got two Mezzalas set on there with wingers, my life, you're going to be exposed because everyone's going out wide. Your focus of your player is going to be out wide. This may work in extreme scenarios where you're against 9 men maybe, but it's not something I would recommend because basically your two central midfield players there will be rolling off to the wings, so you're going to be totally exposed down the middle. And in this day and age, where 90% of teams will play free in the middle, that's something to avoid. So that's something to think about and it's probably why I do tend to stay away from a Mezzala in a 2, because even if one of those players was on a different role, one of your Mezzalas is still bombing out, leaving just one in the middle. So it's something to think about there when you're using the Mezzala. By all means, it can work in a 2, especially if you're the more dominating side, but for me, use it in a 3. Okay, seeing this in action, here's a little example. Now if you look at Barnes, Barnes is the Mezzala in this role. Look at him out there, he's out combining with the left back, he's floating in and around that area. He's ready to make something happen. Like, he's still hovering in that wider area coming from the throw-in. So he's not central, he's off to the left. Here you can see the inside forward playing with the left back. Barnes is going over there as the Mezzala. So those three are combining. Here it comes, inside forward to Barnes, the Mezzala, in it goes. These are the sort of things that can happen if you're using Mezzala in a 4-3-3. So that's the formations we can use a Mezzala in. My preferred is obviously 3 midfield or the narrow formations. I'd stay away from the 2 midfield, but that's entirely up to you. It may work for you. Let me know. So when you're looking for Mezzala, obviously in our saves, not all of us are going to start with a De Bruyne, a Silva, an Iniesta, or indeed we may not have the financial capabilities of buying one of them in. So what do we look for when we're looking for a Mezzala? The perfect Mezzala will have a combination of these attributes. Ideally, all of them would be very nice indeed. So you're looking at passing, technique, dribbling and vision, attacking attributes, because he's going to be one of your main creative threats. So getting them on board would be ideal. Long shots is a cheeky one. As we just saw in the clip there with Barnes, they're going to get a bit of space on the edge of the area now and again. So if they can pull the trigger and unleash a banger from long range, hell, that'd be handy. You'll get a surprising amount of goals there too. Stamina's one that may be surprising, but if you think about it, our Mezzala's going to start in the centre of the midfield and he's going to keep bombing out wide and back again. So the work rate and stamina is going to have to be up there as well. Otherwise, he's only going to be good for half a game, and that's not good to anyone because you're just going to have to pull him at half time. So that's the Mezzala Know Your Role. Let me know what you think. We'll probably do a few more Know Your Roles with FM21 around the corner. If you've got a preference and you want one done, let me know in the comments. Target man, for example, complete forward, whatever, something like that, and we'll hit up another video. But take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.